Behave yourself, Tom.
Okay. So I think everybody heard I'm filling in for Desiree tonight. She is under the weather and if you can transmit whatever she had through the phone, I'm gonna be sick tomorrow. So but hopefully she feels better. All right, here's what she gave me for the meeting is we wanted to go through everybody to go through the rules manual, just making sure that they got all the updates that have been done and there's no typos from the ballot items. It's all aligned correctly. And if everything's cool, we will get this updated out on the website. Trying to think of.
This
Do
is,
any of you guys have the agenda or was there an agenda for the meeting?
She never gives us one.
something was sent out on MailChimp.
Oh, did she?
I wonder if does that outline the,
Review new changes to rules manual for 2024 from 2023 election. Discussion on minders policy enforcement and stickers.
okay. Will,
I don't know, she sends it to my paper.
I'm not exactly sure of all of the ballot changes that happen, so let me see if we can find them. All right. This was a bylaw of voting rights that would not be in the rules manual. Membership nominations, a bylaw that wouldn't be in the rules manual. Opening paragraph of the covenants changing the name wouldn't be in the rules manual. Pets.
Yeah.
So I'll take a look and I think that's in section 1.
Page 1.
It was
Change it
no
from 2 to
livestock,
4.
that's 4B, not over 4 house pets of any kind are permitted, covenant 1, paragraph B. That looks to be correct, right? Okay. The next one was restrictions to the use of lots. And I believe that was the one, let me find it more. This was the one that changed to allow a business to be in Braintree with certain restrictions behind it. And I don't know in the rules manual where it is. Maybe it's not in the rules manual.
Start number, well, looking at, yes,
It's
Page
in there,
16.
you know.
Page
section
16.
7, page 16.
Okay. So it is supposed to read,
Item A is the one that's.
Yep. It took out no businesses, listed A through H as far as the activities in it that outline what business can take place.
Do we need to read through those to make sure?
Can you read?
I can read it, yep.
What
It
the covenants
says-
say, and then we can
All right.
check the voted
Okay.
items.
It says, we removed from the top of it where it says all lots in the subdivision shall be used for residence purposes only. We removed and no business of any nature shall be permitted, maintained, or conducted thereon. That would be in that opening paragraph. This isn't right. It says right there, the last sentence of the opening is lot shall be used for residence purposes only.
Is that the covenant you're reading?
That, no, on the,
I'm reading the
on the
rules
rules, it
manual,
says that.
because it should,
But A says, however, an owner may conduct such business activities as long as,
all right, so do you don't think it matters that it says lot shall be used for residence purposes only?
while using the word however,
Yeah, okay,
gives an exception.
all right. Then reading it back, however, an owner may conduct such business activities or any activity or enterprise entered into for profit within a dwelling located thereon so long as A, the existence or operation of the business activity is not apparent or detectable by sight, sound, or smell from the exterior of the dwelling unit. B, the business activity does not regularly involve people or vehicles coming into Raintree who do not reside in Raintree. C, the business activity does not involve having any tools or equipment stored or placed in any area which can be seen from another lot or common area. D, the business activity is consistent with the residential character of Raintree.
Can I stop you for a second? Can you not use A, B, C, D, because that confuses between how
Okay.
the,
But
You know,
he's reading
there's-
off the covenant. He's reading off the updated covenant
okay,
and the ABCs.
It does,
that
I
he's
get
saying
you, it
is
doesn't
the
follow.
yeah, it doesn't, it just,
Okay,
okay,
I think the rules have more in it than the covenant does under A. All the bullet points under A.
so far you're,
You're good.
Yep.
yeah,
Okay. Where did I leave off at? The business is consistent with the residential character of Raintree. The business activity does not require use of common area utilities. The business activity does not constitute a nuisance or hazardous or offensive use as may be determined by the board. The business is not illegal. The board may issue rules regarding permitted business activities.
Spot on.
that last section's not in this.
Yeah, mine's not either.
Which one? was?
With the last week.
The board,
last statement.
that, I think
Because
it's
in
fine
the
because
rules
it's in,
manual.
it's in the covenant. Well, you know, I mean, one of the things eventually, I think, you know, hopefully I'm not speaking out of turn running this meeting, but what's in the bylaws should not be in the covenants. What's in the covenants should not be repeated within the rules or the ACC manual, with the exception of the grid of the fine. The covenants state what the covenants say. The rules might expound upon that, but it shouldn't repeat the covenant, because you get tripped up that you change one and it's in another one and we don't catch it. And in March, you're going to hear about one that happened to us, but we've got to, I think, look towards, so I think with where it's listed in the covenant, it doesn't need to be repeated verbatim, in the other documents, because otherwise we get tripped up. So, all right.
So based on that, would you recommend that she remove, or that the
Uh,
all the
not-
bulleted items be removed?
Not yet, I wouldn't, because we
Okay.
haven't,
And then
we
circling,
haven't agreed to do that, and it's a big undertaking.
and then circling back to what Kathy and Jerry were saying about the last item that you read, could you repeat that, please?
It said the board may issue rules regarding permitted businesses and activities.
Okay, so these are the rules. I don't think that it would be necessary to repeat that statement in the rule manual. Because these are the rules that
Yep.
the board has
I
created.
think it just gives the board the ability to adapt those rules or add to the rules if we find we need to.
My personal opinion is you go one way or the other. If you're gonna say that they don't need to be, then don't put any of them in. But now you're doing partial, right?
Well,
So
yeah,
it's, and then it's.
I mean,
And then you've got, it's just gonna be,
well, for this
Same old
particular
situation.
exercise, we gotta follow suit of what happened. I think bigger picture. We gotta make sure what's in the bylaws isn't repeated in the covenant, and the covenants aren't repeated. You know, you can refer to the covenant, but you shouldn't repeat the covenant, because if ever this changes, somebody forgets to change the rule manual or vice versa, but that last sentence, I think, only is stating the board has the right to change
The
or
rule.
add to these rules in the future if determined that, something comes about that was overlooked in the particular covenant.
Okay, John, what's getting me is it's saying it's referring to the rules. And that's why it's getting me is because that's what it's referring to is the rules.
Right, but it's in the rules manual itself. So you're saying.
That
Right, but that's. in the
sentence
covenants.
is not in the rules book.
Right.
That's just
I
my
see how you're,
feeling.
why you're,
Okay,
I don't see
I
why
mean,
you're
we can-
confused. but
I'm
it's
not
worth-
confused.
It's not worth, delaying this discussion, in my opinion.
well, let me ask Desiree.
I mean,
Let me ask Desiree if she thinks we need to include that sentence in.
it just refers
the
to
rules.
it, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, it basically stating that the board has the right, based upon that covenant change, to add more rules if need be around it. It doesn't have to go back to a covenant vote to add to this list of,
And that's the covenants.
this is the covenant. Yep.
these are going to be posted
Mhm.
on the website.
So,
Okay.
uh, so,
My opinion.
so will the covenants.
My opinion is in an effort to make sure that there's absolute full disclosure across the board, that it should be included, because you do have, there's a possibility of someone just looking up the rules and not knowing that it's in the covenant and not going to reference it in the covenant and not having the correct information. And I think that's the essence of, one of the primary goals of the board is to move forward with openness
Okay.
and full disclosure.
Yep. Well, that's where I think, that's just my opinion as to where I think we got to move to, but this is the covenant. The covenant doesn't need to be restated in the rules.
So then,
The covenant is in essence the restriction that guides this. The rules should just
Reference.
expound upon the covenant if needed. Is all,
Also-
but I will,
And I'll also point out to Kathy and to Jerry that on the introduction page at the very beginning of the rules manual, it does mention that it is a living document subject to change, and revisions will be added as needed.
well, sure, but again, it's a matter of full disclosure and not, people don't always.
well, for
People
now,
don't always-
I'll ask Desiree, and if she agrees to put it in, we put it in. It's not a big deal
People
one way or
don't
the
always
other.
research things the way you want them to.
on it. Yep. And I think that lends to my comment about, we shouldn't be repeating these documents in one after the other, because it just adds to confusion. And, if part of it's here and part of it's here, then you don't get the whole effect of it. But all right, the next one is a change to the under camping, which will be back. Yep. And I think that one said, took this out of order. What I'll do here.
Page 7.
Got the whole document out of order.
Campground, section 4.
Okay. No, it's not the campground, it's
Camping and.
camping on a lot.
But we didn't pass camping in on a lot.
yes, we did.
We passed camping in your backyard.
Right, camping in your backyard, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
Did you say you saw it, Tom? Did you say?
16,
I'm sorry, sir.
16, page 16.
Same page we were just
Oh.
on.
Oh, there it is. I know.
All right, okay, yep, page 16, item F. Tent camping in the backyard of a residential lot with a house is allowed for no more than 3 consecutive days at a time, covenants paragraph 1C. And the covenant change read tent camping in the backyard of a residential lot with a defined as a lot with a house is allowed for no more than 3 consecutive days at a time. All right, the next one shouldn't be in the rules. It's removing section 50 from the covenants, which doesn't exist. Ballot item 8, which was in covenant section 2, but this should be in the ACC manual. Just combined 2A into 2M verbatim. I don't think that would be
Is that
in.
regarding signs?
It's the completion of a construction project.
Okay.
The next one is regarding parking, which might be in multiple places in this rules manual. It is the change that states no parking of vehicles, trailers, boats, personal watercraft, RVs, or any similar personal property is permitted on an undeveloped lot. This one's gonna be interesting to find. Because I think parking might be talked about in multiple places of this document. Probably look in section 7, I would guess on lots,
It's not.
No.
not in that one. Then we go to
And
Property owners.
security, I guess. Probably section 10, which would be page 20. I'm digging your idea about highlighting the change.
I think they should. I mean, it would help people to know.
Okay, it's probably added in here under.
Page 20, parking number or letter E. Second sentence, no parking of vehicles, trailers, boats, personal watercraft, RVs, or any other similar personal properties permitted on an undeveloped lot.
All right,
J.
2J and 2Shay, right? All right, the next one is storage tanks for propane. I would imagine if that's in the rules manual, it's got to be under section 2 of ACC.
No,
It is not in there, so it would just be in the ACC manual, not the rules manual. All right, the next one was the ballot item for the special assessment for roads, which failed, and it wouldn't be in the rules manual. The next one, special assessment for security, it failed. It would not be in the rules manual. This one might be another one's hard to find. This one is, it's in Covenant 3, Section 3, Part 2, Paragraph 2. It's the area that does this. This is what's convoluted. There's a parking thing in here or a sticker thing, and there's a boat thing in here. So one of the changes was, if everybody remembers, in this, there's the parentheses that said for stickers for the place, accepting properly licensed passenger cars, trucks, minivans, SUVs, etc. That was removed. I don't believe that was ever in the rules manual to begin
in
with.
the rules manual, I believe it required
I saw.
all vehicle stickers, all vehicles to have a sticker.
Yeah, I thought I saw something a few minutes ago.
I guess it's probably, I'm guessing it'd be under security or vehicle parking. No fishing, lakes, boating, lights. Yeah, I guess let's start with section 9 on page 19 and section on 10 is on page 20. See what we can find.
Okay, so page 19 of the new version of the rules manual still has that paragraph that vehicle stickers are available to all property owners. And then in big bold, vehicles without range-free identification may be towed at any time. But it does say must be displayed on vehicles to park in designated areas. So
Okay.
I guess that's right.
Which is still right. I don't believe that part was in here at all. I don't ever remember seeing it. Because that's the piece we wanted it passed. We removed it because it conflicted with, I think, 1J of the covenants, which said all stickers need, or all vehicles need a sticker. So, and that's something where the board is working through. But before we do that, we're gonna try to do it. The other one, we gotta go to boats.
Well, you also have the thing in here about all vehicles must display a property owner's identification, that's the guest picks.
Right.
Property owner's identification
That's
sticker
the pavilion,
on the windshield.
which is true to park at the pavilion.
Mhm.
All right, the next part of this is you gotta find the boat
Back up
sticker.
for a minute.
What?
On the vehicles without range tree identification may be towed at any time. Is that just in
Designation.
the areas that are listed below?
Yeah, but right now it would be any at the boat ramp,
So designated
beach parking, the
Okay.
pavilion
Designated.
designated. Yep.
common parking areas.
But what does the
I think
covenant
that's
say?
misleading.
I do
The
too.
covenant, doesn't
I
the
think we should
covenant say that
specify
it
that.
has to have?
All right, we're gonna get to that in the next
Then-
section of this thing. So,
If they don't have it in the designated areas, then they can be towed.
Right, but this is misleading. It's just at any time.
For your-
Which basically, if you have a guest parked in front of your house. Or your car is parked in front of your house, it can be towed. If it's on Rain Tree Street,
Mhm.
according to this.
So
All right.
could it be clarified, Kathy, if we were to say something like vehicles without range tree identification parked in designated areas?
Just with vehicles
Grounds.
parked in designated areas, that's where it should
Without
be.
range tree identification may be towed at any
That
time.
makes it inclusive of what is parked, vehicles
Right.
parked,
It's the wording.
vehicles, right.
okay, we'll get that update
Or
into
maybe-
there. We gotta find the boat the boat section, I think, because part of this one there, the covenant read that the boat sticker had to be on the right rear.
Yeah, I was feeling those.
And it needs to be the starboard side nearest the driver's seat operator. I'm not sure if the placement of it's in the rules or not, but boating is in section 6, page 12, I think.
Boat stickers on one of the Verizon
Boat stickers on
property
13.
registered. Says the starboard right side, and trailer sticker. Page 13.
I have a page.
Sticker on the
Each
starboard right side and trailer sticker.
For section.
I think we probably should add here the center, the same verbiage. That's gotta be the center.
Is it in the covenant specifically where it has to be located? That is kind of idiotic to me.
Yep.
Why they would
Nope.
put that in the covenant
Yeah.
and not just make it a rule?
Right.
Because
Right, because if
anytime it's
every,
gotta be
right,
changed, it's gonna be
gotta
voted
go
on by
vote.
everybody.
Yep. you got it. But it's there, so should it state
It'd be the same in the,
nearest the driver's
Yes.
side operator seat?
Yeah.
it should be stated the same. Otherwise, one person's gonna put it one way,
13.
somebody's gonna put it somewhere else.
Both stickers also covered under 1J. So.
I don't believe we changed covenant 1J in the last election. All right, that covers everything for that section of, still just pen, sorry.
That's okay.
Um,
I have,
So we'll get those changes made and then we'll get it updated. To the website.
Do you need a comparison in the 2024 and the 2023 versions?
If we want to put it out there, we,
I mean, so you can go
So-
back in the 2024 one and highlight what.
Yep.
What has changed? Can you send me the PDF version of the 2024? Cause I should
I
have.
mean,
it.
the actual file, you don't want PDF because you want to change it, right? Or highlight it.
No, I want same. I want PDF version and a PDF version.
Okay,
So the 2023 one is already on the website. I can pull that one down. And do the side-by-side comparison,
okay.
and then. I will
Everybody
not
agree that,
Change the
highlight-
document itself.
okay, everybody
Have the
agree,
capability to-
highlighted what changed is better.
What am I agreeing to?
That when we post this document, that what changed
will be
is
highlighted.
highlighted on there.
Agreed.
Okay,
I won't do the highlighting, but I will point, I can tell you what needs to be highlighted.
okay. All right, the next agenda item was minor policy, and I think it's minors.
Minors.
There was some discussion about where, we've got minors doing mischief and damage and stuff around here. And, experience has shown that, trying to prosecute them doesn't go very far. And there was some talk about adding to the rules manual or for Raintree that if we caught them, then having them do community service as restitution, but Desiree's take on it was, she thinks it's gonna take a lot longer to implement, and it might not even be enforceable without the right standards, and considering that people may try to sue the community over community service for their kids. At this point, it might be a better idea to pursue further at a later time.
I don't agree with that. I'm sorry. I mean, how long are we gonna let these kids get away with what they're getting away with? That's why they keep doing what they're doing.
Aren't the parents responsible?
Yes, the parents are responsible for the minor.
Are they,
I think some
are
of,
they always, I'm sorry,
I was gonna say, I think some of what goes on is that, you know, some parents, they
They
just
don't
pay,
care.
they just pay the fine. It's like,
Yeah.
boom, here it goes, and, you know,
is
this,
it always resident minors? Or is it guest minors?
It's both.
I mean, I
So,
think it'd be resident, because, you know, if you got legally challenged,
you,
our covenants and rules and everything don't apply past the owners.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think it's worth pursuing at this point because of those legal reasons.
I mean, we would have to have the program spelled out.
Mhm.
I think we'd have to send it to the attorney to review it.
It's, in my opinion,
Oh.
it would need to be backed up by Jefferson County. And like whatever probationary or community service program the county or the state has. If we can get their backing, then it would have more teeth.
Teeth, yep.
Have
But
you
it would
talked
have
to a probation officer or
in
the,
order to do that, we would have to go through Jefferson County to.
She didn't say, I don't know where it went. I mean, you know, just my own 2 cents of it, I don't,
Mhm.
you know, I don't know the law and I don't get involved in politics, but you know, if you're a minor doing this stuff, then the prosecutor and the judges should at least enforce restitution. Okay, if you don't want to charge them, if you don't want anything on their record, whatever, that's fine. But if the evidence shows that they did it, then at least, you know, you can at least seek and force restitution on them. So either you're gonna do community service in the community to, you know, as your punishment for it, or you're gonna have to pay for the damage it caused. But that's out of our control.
I'm gonna make a couple phone calls and see if I can
Okay.
get any information on it.
Are we
Okay.
talking about personal property or are we talking about POA property?
Either.
Okay. It would be my understanding that it would be up to the insurance. I mean, number one, you'd have to go through Jefferson County for the penalization. And if you're looking for restitution, it would be the insurance company that would file and go to the parents
Potentially.
as minors.
Yep.
Yeah, so as you said, it's really, we're not a township, we're not a
Right.
entity,
Yep.
we don't have any legal.
Well,
stand.
Jerry Jean, go ahead and make the calls, you can update the committee as to what you find out, and then we can continue this conversation in
Okay.
the next
And
meeting.
so-
Yep, absolutely.
My question would be like, who's gonna oversee this? You know what I mean?
Right.
Who would be overseeing these kids?
Yeah. I mean, part of it comes down to, we don't even have a documented program for this, other than, you know, it was an idea of, you know, hey, have you busted up all these mailboxes and got caught? You're gonna be over there, you know, replacing the mailboxes and doing the work the way that it was, you know, the way that it was done. But again, like you said, who's gonna oversee it? You know,
Who's gonna make them do it?
who's gonna make sure that they put the thing in the right way, or, you know,
Was-
that they pour water in the concrete, no.
Well, that stuff like that, I would think that you could have whoever. I mean, hire somebody to do, like if they do a row of them, have somebody come in. That's gonna do them, and the kids have to work with the
Was-
contractor.
As far as the mailboxes, that was,
Still a pending court case.
right, right. And
And
they,
that's
they ask
personal
you whether
property.
or
Yeah.
not you want
Well,
restitution.
and,
They ask the
right,
victims for
yeah.
a
Well,
statement
there's-
of restitution.
Yep, well, there's, I mean, in our covenants and rules and everything, I mean, you're not allowed to damage, steal, vandalize anything within Raintree, so,
No,
I mean, Raintree POA would pursue something if it was POA property.
Right.
If it's your personal property, you have to, and we, if we can assist with it, we do, but that's you filing your, your complaint. But if the complaint turns out to be valid and true and provable, you censure the person for what we have set up within. Rockford.
So
So
if
even
we
though
have,
they damage personal property, we're not gonna file the police report or any of that, but if the police report says and proves out, yes, they did, then the censure would go to the owner.
The parent.
Yep.
so if we have property owners that have minors that do damage to POA property, and they are just continuously willing to pay the censures, can, in those instances, if we have documentation of repeat offenses, what is the max we can censure them? We need, in my opinion, need to hurt them even more in their pocketbook.
I think the bylaws or covenants, I think max it out at $1,000.
I think that's what I was gonna say.
Okay, so then
Other, other than if, the single biggest fine you can give somebody is $1,000. It can go higher if you get tagged with the daily non-compliance fine.
Okay.
But that really wouldn't fall under a daily non-compliance.
Can we consider have further future discussions on adding to the rules and wherever it would be appropriate, and if we legally can, to start taking away the property owners' access to the amenities, anything that they don't, you know what I'm saying?
If they.
I'm not talking about like turning
Well, I'm
off their
thinking if they
gate
didn't-
cards,
if
but
they
maybe they're, you
If they
know,
didn't pay it, you can, I
I
think you
mean,
can write
is
into
can
the,
we ask the attorney, is there we have a set of covenants that the
Well-
property owners vote on, but yet if we still have property owners that are continually to violate these covenants, and we can show,
can you take
hey,
it, can you take it
property
further?
owner X had this censure done on this date, this censure done on this date, this censure done, and yes, they've paid, but
They keep
what-
doing the same thing.
right,
then,
what can we do to
I-
legally
yeah.
do?
We can ask him, because maybe it's, I'm just throwing things out here, so don't take it that John said this, but maybe you can say, you know what, after X number of these, you're not allowed to buy any sticker access for the amenities, maybe you're not allowed to vote if you continue to.
You can't,
A change in the covenants, because
Right.
by the covenants, if you're
Yeah.
paid up on all your
You
assessments,
can buy it. Yep.
any of your violations, if you're paid up, you get park where you want to park.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't. you can't take that
Okay.
away from them.
So-
No,
For
you'd
the
have,
calendar.
you'd have to change it.
Straw poll of the audience, if we will,
Okay,
if that item was
Are we
put
allowed to-
on a ballot, up for a ballot,
to finish.
would
your
you
sentence.
vote on it? I'm sorry, for you?
Yeah.
I-
You can't take power for them to, while it is a minor, because of the minor, well, number one, my question would be, do you have police reports on each of these incidents?
One of them, the police said, you don't have enough evidence. And they said, there's nothing for us to do. The thought is, because the police knew from the evidence we had, they were minors. The court, not the court, but the prosecuting attorney wasn't gonna do anything about it. So
You
they
can-
didn't waste their time to even do a police report. They just told us, you don't have enough evidence, and
Well, I think
know,
that's something that needs to change. Because
gotta.
your
gotta-
insurance,
Gotta vote another
your ins-
prosecutor in.
no,
Oh,
no, that's not. You still get a police report and you can demand a police report, just like your insurance will, depending upon, will ask for a police report. You might have to wait for the police to get there and to respond, but you can demand a police report.
Well, they told us point blank on the one that we didn't have enough evidence for them to do
Well,
anything.
that's not
so-
their decision.
Okay, but that's what they told us and
I understand that that's what they told you, but I would follow, at that point, I would follow up with their supervisor and still demand a police report. Because
okay,
that's how you're gonna get things done. If if they continue to the violations, at least then you've got report and you can go to the homeowner and say, look, we've got 3 police reports with your minor. We can go to small claims court
Yeah,
for the damages.
questioning what you were saying. It seems like from what you said, the police aren't saying that we're not gonna prosecute them. They're saying you don't have enough evidence to say police. Is that what you were saying? I mean, on the one hand,
yeah, I mean, Tom Allen, do you remember this case? It was the girls at the gate when they spray painted graffiti everywhere and, we called the police, we showed them everything that we had and
Oh, I
I have
remember,
no idea what direction. they took.
I remember there was 3 of them.
the answer we got back was,
saw 'em.
we didn't provide them enough evidence to do anything. So I don't know whether it was identification. I don't know, but I mean, at least I thought it's the police's job to investigate, not ours.
It
but,
is,
You know,
it is, and it's their job to provide a report.
Okay,
And whether or
Okay.
not it goes through prosecution, that's different. But they have to provide you a report.
yeah, I think that they do too,
okay,
especially if you have a picture that's fake,
Mhm.
No, I don't know.
Again, you might have to wait till, because you'd be low
All right,
on the
I'll
totem pole
check.
for response.
I'll check with, I don't know whether it falls under rules or security. The interaction with, or even if it's, Tom, you might know, who's normally the one contacting the police? Is it the board chair or is it you and Tammy on it?
That whole thing, I mean, that's not, that was such a convoluted mess. I mean, my understanding was they had the evidence. And I don't know what the answer was, from the police. Usually, I mean, I've heard dozens of times. Yeah, we know it's them, but I'm telling you, it's cop talking. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, if I take that to the prosecutor, he's not gonna prosecute.
why?
But it's not,
Not enough evidence. Now, that's just
and I
general,
understand,
I've heard that a bunch of times. Okay?
and I
Different
understand
cases.
that.
Yeah, he didn't want to take his time to.
Well, I mean, with the girls, I mean, it went off in all kinds of different directions. It was a hard luck story. The one person in Raintree that was responsible, that by our covenants, by our rules, really had nothing to do with the child. It was a family that was a mess. And the girls in juvie now anyway, so. But, you have so many cases where, like I said, that you think you got plenty of evidence. It's obvious to us who it is. But Raintree's got a bad rap.
Mhm.
It's got a bad reputation with prosecutors in Jefferson County. Because too many times we've gone to them and they were ready to prosecute and they're like, nah, we're gonna take care of it. So they spend hours and hours on something, and I don't know how you build back that trust.
Yeah. Yep. I don't know. I think some of it is, if they keep taking stuff to the prosecutor and the prosecutor won't proceed with it, and they're like, they're like anybody else. They know, it's like, I'm not gonna keep,
Prosecutor.
they're like, I'm not gonna keep on spinning my wheels here with this. I'm gonna move on to,
The one that blows my mind. is Teresa. Didn't run.
What?
There was a case where the person was set out here. We had video, the person used a car. And they said, well, we couldn't see his face, so we're not gonna prosecute.
Yeah, that might need to go a little bit higher.
And it's
Yep.
like the person
So-
was injured.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
but now did the person go to the police or?
oh, yeah,
You know, and they would.
I don't know, yes,
Oh, my God.
That's all.
What the heck's wrong with it?
I'm not, I mean.
So can I pose a different
I don't know what
scenario?
the Next step
Yep.
with the prosecutor. You know, go take it.
I mean, you gotta go like up to the alderman.
Well, I mean, the person that,
Wow.
I can't believe the person is not, and I don't know, but I can't believe that the injured person doesn't have a lawyer. And if we get involved in it,
All right.
then I think.
Can we get back to the agenda you had?
So I'm gonna.
So
pose
good,
a
all
di-
good conversation, thanks, but
Yeah, a
don't know
different
what we can-
scenario, for repeat offenders of our rules that wouldn't involve the police. But they still affect our way of
Right.
life here in the community. People not following the voting rules. That could potentially injure people. But maybe they just don't care and they keep just getting censured and paying the fine, censured, paying the fine. What I'm getting at is repeated offenses
that are paid.
that are paid because they've got a, you know, a $1 million slush fund or something, you know, about taking or considering taking some of their additional nice to have things away from them. And I think that's what Mom was saying, that would have to go on the ballot.
Right.
So what I was gonna do, the straw poll is, if that ballot item went, would the people in the audience vote for that? Something to the effect of not allowing them to have, register a boat sticker for the next year or the following year. I think there's something in here about if you don't register your golf cart or so, you know, like if you don't, wait, what is it?
Jet
You
ski.
don't register your jet ski this year, and then
Yeah,
next year,
lose
and
the
the next year, you
grandfather.
can't do it, the next year, you can't do it, some
Yeah,
kind
you
of,
lose the grandfathering of it.
right.
Well, the other
Something
thing,
like
we
that.
could certainly find it and put the ballot item through if we think so is, you know, see if we can get the authority from the owners to, you know, make a censure that's, you know, actually gonna sting and sting hard.
There you go.
Yeah,
Raise the-
that's why I said, what
Yeah.
is the amount?
We have a lot of that happening where people pay it, and they just, and they keep.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And
You know that, or?
I don't know that anybody's
there
been
is.
tracking
Is that
that.
true?
Yeah, according
we-
to,
They don't get the
what's her name?
Desiree.
Desiree said there's some people that just keep paying them.
I mean,
But
sometimes
it
it's
doesn't,
something.
that does
yeah,
not get reported to the general public during a board meeting.
Right.
No,
I mean, some of it is, you know, some of this stuff is $25, you know,
Yeah, that's
it's
a
like,
big deal.
so,
Yes.
you know, I might pay my $25 over and over again. I forget where I was at, but I used to, pay the parking ticket because the parking ticket was cheaper than the parking.
I have a suggestion.
Okay.
That you wouldn't have to change the covenants on. So like if they're doing something, like you saying, in their boat or whatever, then that would fall under the boating rules and censures for boating rules, and those censures, you know, after so many offenses, you could say you no longer can get a boating sticker and you can't get your boat on the, you know, I mean, after.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, that
What
wouldn't have to change the covenant.
you think that would just be a board vote?
That would be a rules thing instead of like you were saying.
Yeah.
To not let them use any of these.
Well,
And-
that would have
that
to
was
be a
kind of like
covenant.
the extreme when we're talking about.
You confirm with
So
your
I don't
That's an
think-
amenity. That
When
would
do
be
you-
But I mean,
covered.
like boating and then like golf cart.
Yeah,
if
all
they're-
the extra nice to have things. Now,
Right,
you can't take away somebody's access to their property.
right.
We kind of figured that out.
Yep.
But we can take away their ability to get a vehicle sticker to park at the beach, to get a golf cart sticker, to get a boat sticker, to get extra gate cards, to get a visitor pass for the day, anything that's extra.
So my point is like, if they're violating beach rules, you could take away their access to the beach. If they're violating boating rules, you could take away their boating access. If they're violating golf court rules and letting their kids over and over again use their golf cart,
That's when it came.
you could take away their golf cart. So that, I mean, instead of like saying, you know, you did this over here, but we're gonna take away this over here, you know?
Okay,
Well, you
Okay.
know, like Tom said, in the covenants, it says if you're paid up, you get to use the amenities. So that's why he was questioning, do you
Yeah.
need a covenant to do that, to do what you're saying?
Yep.
I don't know.
Would this be easier, because I think you're getting into a real snowball of taking away people's stickers and that? Because I'm sure that there's a lot of people driving their boats on that lake that don't have a current sticker. So if they don't care about the fines, they're not gonna care about that. They're just gonna drive their boat if they want. They're gonna go to the beach if they want. They're gonna do whatever they want. So can you do something where first offense is this, second offense is double, third offense?
It
It
is.
is, that's in their rules.
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
It is.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry. I haven't read
Which,
it.
No, that's okay.
which she
It's a
brings
great
up,
question though.
she brings up a very legit point. And the other thing too that I'm concerned about is you're talking about taking
We have one, but I think.
rights essentially away from an entire unit family when it's just based on one
Oh,
person.
okay.
We have a lot of merged families where it could be, you know, I mean,
Yeah.
we're not gonna dive into
You don't have to stick.
their family life. That's
Right.
why I go back to get records, and then you can follow up with it. And, you know, whether the prosecutor wants to prosecute one, but as there are other avenues that you can take if you have multiple, if you have a balloon of a basket of.
Yep. No, I don't disagree with it. So, you know, I don't know what the right approach is, you know. So, maybe it's some of it is that, you know, hey, if I don't care if you're paying the fine or not, you know, if you get the same thing the fourth time, you know, it's, you know, it's stiff. It's not, yeah, on it. Yeah, because I mean, there are some fines, even the third offense, it's $100. I'm like, you know, if the $100 isn't enough to deter you from doing it, then, you know,
Don't we have anything that will pull somebody's sticker after so many times or anything? No, well,
I mean, I think I read somewhere you might be able to, you might lose your voting rights for the remainder of the year.
yeah.
Yeah, it
Um,
says it
But
in
I
the-
don't, but I mean, I don't think there's anything other than with like the grandfather jet ski, which is 24, 25 of them total in Raintree. If you don't keep it continually registered every year, you lose the grandfather from it.
Right.
But
You know,
then, like
but-
she said, you know, and we know it happens, they're gonna put it on the water without.
So,
We just don't have the manpower to enforce.
yep.
We need the vote.
All right, let's go to the last agenda item, which was sticker enforcement. So Desiree had said that with the sticker enforcement, because we did do the covenant change to clear that discrepancy up in there, is, you know, the board is doing some research, getting quotes and that. So, you know, we are looking at some different avenues to potentially provide the access into the community. You know, we don't have an answer on that at the moment, but it's something that's being talked about and worked on. The two terms you might have heard are either RFID or LPR. LPR is a license plate reader, so it's data capture. So at this point in time, she said that and this is what the board asked her to do as well, is to table anything further with the sticker enforcement until the final decision is reached about the gate access and how that tool or system's gonna work.
And the
Give me a second.
stickers,
Give me a second.
okay, sure.
So
Sorry.
the board
I
asked to table it. We have been tabling it. So we did make a security policy change to at least get going in a direction. So if you are a new Raintree owner as of tomorrow, I think tomorrow's March 1st, new Raintree owners are going to be required to register their vehicle and purchase a sticker to receive a gate card. They on it, which is different than current owners. So no change is happening to current owners. It's only new owners coming into Raintree. And other access to the community is via the guest gate. There are exceptions made for medical care providers and large scale ACC approved projects, such as a house, seawall, or boat house. This revised security requirement is for new Raintree owners only. It has no impact on current owners. It's really just, it went out in Raintree Roundup if you read it. It's informational only for current owners. The revision is in phase 1 of implementing the covenant change from last year, which we already discussed. 3, section 2, blah, blah, blah. And 1J. 1J now is what sets forth the sticker requirement. When the final determination is made on the gate security system, current owners will transition to compliance at that time. So hang on one second. So if we decide we're not changing anything, then it'll come back to the committee to come up with what is the rules around the covenant for the sticker requirement for everybody that extends past the common ground area parking. So, yes, now you can ask.
Question one on that. Those new owners then next year, would they then be required to purchase?
Yep,
Like when they pay their dues?
when the stickers are due.
This, I think this conflicts with the covenant.
Well, okay.
I think, may I finish?
Okay.
Thank you. This conflicts with the covenant in that we're telling the covenant that the stickers are only necessary if you're gonna park in designated areas. If you have a new owner that doesn't use the beach, doesn't use the lakes, how can?
Well, the covenant states that every owner vehicle has to be registered with a sticker.
This is the
The
vehicle. this little
rule,
one.
the rule state in the security that the sticker right now is only required for parking at the common ground areas. So we're in phase 1 of working towards implementing that covenant change. It's a massive, massive change to get implemented across all the owners
So
here.
you're going
So
back to how it
we're
used to be.
going,
Right.
so we're going with step 1. So that, because we've got these other discussions going on about potentially changing the access in and out of here. We don't want to undertake the work and the step and everything else to, go to the sticker on every car at this moment until that determination is done. If the determination is done that we're going to stick with the same system that we have, then we're going to have to go to phase 2, which somehow gets a sticker on every car. And I don't have any more answers about what that looks like or what it is. At this moment, this thing just goes to new owners effective tomorrow. To at least get the new owners on the right path to the covenants. And then we'll move forward once we get this other determination done on the other part. He had his hand up first, so hang on.
Okay, I didn't think I was done, but.
Oh, you did? Okay, I don't, go ahead. All right, go ahead, sorry.
So what I was going to say before. What we're doing now is not in compliance with our current covenants. Because we're supposed to be, everyone's supposed to have stickers, and would be great to get all those license plates. And you can do that when people pay their assessments. And at that time, that's when the sticker, when you issue stickers, when people pay for the year, that way you know. When people have stickers on their car, they're in compliance, they paid their dues, and they're good for that year. Not get stickers in April and then don't pay in July, and then they still have a sticker all year. That defeats the whole purpose of the sticker.
Other than the vehicle sticker, when it was $2, the assessment and the stickers were never in sync. Every other sticker you bought was due in January.
Yeah, they were.
So we made the change to sync them up to April because owner feedback was, don't put all this expense at one point in time on us in July when the assessment is due.
They were, when
Oh,
we moved here.
The-
you got your
the
sticker when you
registration
paid your
sticker.
due.
I get it.
But it was only
That was-
$2.
That was the
Yeah.
car sticker.
It's,
They
it's
didn't want,
tenfold.
so we didn't want all
And
the
that makes-
stickers at one point in time. That was behind it. So we took the exemption out of the covenants last year because last year at that given time, at least the tide was, we were likely gonna go to RFID. You couldn't put RFID in because an RFID tag's a sticker on your car that has a radio frequency reader in it. You couldn't enforce a sticker on the car because covenant 3.3. Whatever had the exception for every passenger vehicle that there is. So it was a confliction in the covenants. And we stated when we put that change through that this was for a future avenue development such as RFID. It wasn't to immediately go to put a sticker on every single vehicle at that point in time. And that's in, if you go back to the old newsletter from the election that went out. So all we're doing at this point is if we're gonna change a system, let's get the determination made if we're gonna do it. If we're not gonna do it and we stay where we are today, then we do have to go to and put phase 2 in and get in sync with the covenant.
So
And
we're not in sync with the covenant. You do
well,
admit that.
right, I mean, we basically intentionally did it last year is you had to get rid of the exception. Or, because last year, all the talk was RFID. Laura, you go to all the board meetings. It's like last year when we were going through the creation of the ballot items,
People, yeah.
everything was RFID. And, you know,
What did it,
Just a
what did,
few people.
So
what
you
was the
could-
change about with the registration sticker? What was the change in the covenants about the registration
well,
sticker?
there was a clause in covenant 3, whatever, that
3A,
accepted,
3.2
that
stated,
accepted the sticker requirement from all
right,
passenger vehicles.
Right, and that particular covenant was talking about everything except cars, is what that was.
right.
Yep.
Boat-
There's also
So
other
it,
ones
so
in
it,
there
right, so
that
it
says-
conflicted with 1J that said every car has to have a sticker.
Well,
So we removed with intent, and it says it in the newsletter, that removing this allows us the future ability to move towards something like RFID. So, you know, where we're at this point in time is we're putting phase 1, which is new owners. We're not going after to tackle this thing at the moment with owners, current owners. We're going to go after, basically, we're going to let the process of the evaluation of a different system take its place, get voted on. If it gets voted in, then we'll migrate the current owners to that. And if it doesn't get voted in, then, you know, we got to come up with some way to enforce this sticker, you know, but I don't know how you enforce a sticker because even when it was required,
I
Like-
just told you not.
Well, no, it's not, because
When
we've
you
got,
Pay your dues, you
Well,
get your
okay.
sticker, and that sticker
Okay,
shows.
but you're
that
talking
you-
old terms. The dues aren't paid here. The dues aren't paid here, so you're never gonna pay your sticker now with your dues on it. Because City and Village handles the assessment.
And you don't know who
So-
is paid?
I know at the end of the month, when City and Village gives us the report, who paid
Okay.
on it. So, you know, at best you could do it 30 days after they paid. But the other part is, so I'll ask you this question. When you talk enforcement, do you know how many cars I own?
No.
So if I come up here and register one of the 4 cars I own, how do we enforce it? You know-
Not have the rule,
And it,
because you can't.
Well, that's.
I
true.
can't keep that guy over there from shooting the other guy. It's not. a rule.
yeah, I know, I get it. So we're,
The
you know,
stickers say who is current. That's what the whole purpose of the sticker was. So that when
Well-
you went to
And
the
that-
beach or
Okay.
you went to a common area.
right, but that all changed. We changed all that last year. We had 5 months worth of meetings, 5 months worth of communications that,
And just the people that
Right.
came to one meeting are
Uh,
really the ones that set it all up.
Yeah.
Elaine, it
Hey,
was
I-
also to,
I get it. I get it, but you know what?
Say that I can park at the beach.
When
I
we,
don't have to pay another $25.
I get it, but yeah, you had to have that sticker to park at the beach previously that you paid for. So we didn't, all this board did was change the timing and the amount of the sticker.
The stickers for.
the sticker was to,
Braintree, not just.
it was,
Okay.
the sticker was mainly
All right,
to say that you are, and you are a resident of Raintree Plantation,
And
Right.
you are paid up.
and you're,
And you are.
That's
current on
correct.
Your assessments. That's what the whole idea of the sticker was.
Okay.
And then it completely got
Changed.
changed.
it changed. Absolutely, it
Yeah,
changed.
but it doesn't say that.
But that's not what the covenants say. You
I-
guys changed it without.
Okay, but time out
Okay.
here, guys. I explained to you, and we're not gonna fix this here. We did something phase 1 to at least get new owners coming in here on the right track. All right, they don't have any history about anything. They bought in new. This is the covenant. We are in process of doing something that will get this covenant in sync. Either it's gonna be an RFID, it'll be a, you know, a license plate reader that opens the gate. You know, it will be something. And if we stick with the same system, I'm not disagreeing. We have to figure out how do you get the sticker to every car.
Because when they pay next year to the city and village, you won't know they paid yet. So you're gonna somehow get them to pay for another sticker next year.
I don't know the answer to it. I mean, we're not, you know, we're not trying to,
All right,
to
I'm done.
solve and fix that at this point. I'm just, you know, this is what I just wanted to share with you. That, you know, the board and Desiree, you know, we're not gonna pursue a conversation about a sticker on every vehicle until the work is done for these other 2, for this gate access system. Because they're not gonna go put in something to 2,400 owners that we may turn around and change in 3 months. So we're gonna,
But
you know,
it's
hopefully
not
it March.
compliant with the covenants, is what I'm saying.
But we intentionally did that last September to provide for a future
Okay.
May I say
change. Now,
something,
hang on,
please? Like,
everybody.
Ben-
Denny had his hand up. Denny had his hand up, so. Denny has his hand, up, so let him say.
My concern is that you're still pulling out another group of people coming in. That's been a concern of this association in the past years. We're heading down that alley again, and I hate to see that happen.
Well,
Taking a certain group, and setting them aside for this type of rule, and this review doesn't have to do that.
John, this is turning into a town.
Hang on,
town
Denny's
meeting.
talking.
This is
Hold on,
turning into a
please.
town meeting.
Denny's talking. Hang on.
I understand that Denny's talking, but he's not a member of the board, and this is turning into a town meeting. Resign. because this is ridiculous.
In other words, the people that attend the meeting can't talk? Is that what you said?
They're supposed to talk.
A board meeting, you're supposed to.
This
have-
is
not a board meeting.
This is a board
This is-
meeting.
No, it's not.
It's a committee.
It's
Right, and the rules committee is not talking.
Yes, it
What-
is.
It's been enforced before. I guess you changed the rules. I'm done. This is ridiculous. It's just like on anything else here. You know, you make rules, but then, you know, Tom, Dick and Harry decide that they want to do it.
I saw people, it's like, we can't talk.
You can talk at a committee meeting.
No, Tom.
All the.
Can we
commi-
clap?
Yeah, all
No,
the-
that is not very professional, okay?
She's not professional.
Right, we're not,
Can we
we're- hey,
get
let's
back
get
on
back there.
track,
So then,
please,
go-
Denny? Are you-
Go back. Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
John, I'm done.
Yep.
That's all.
I'm very hopeful. All I can say is this, you know what? The board voted to move towards this change. And I'm hoping that come March's board meeting, we have the information to decide what the future's going to look like. Are we going with one of these other systems? And if we're not, then we got to get back to how do we get this thing done? So I'm not disagreeing with you, but you know, we knew we were creating this conflict when it was voted in last year, to take that exception out. And it was done because we were evaluating these other systems. And, you know, I mean, there's nothing more behind it than that. But we do have to, you know, get it done. You know, we have to make that final decision. And the reason we delayed doing anything with the sticker is if I'm just hypothetical, if we decided to go with RFID and we didn't make this change last year, you couldn't enforce RFID on anybody because the covenant stated this passenger vehicles were accepted from it. So we took that out. Now I don't know if we're gonna go to RFID or not, you know, I mean, I don't know if we are or we're not. You know, I mean, security and technology are looking at some different items. Hopefully come March, board meeting will have enough information to decide which way we're going. And if it's decided, you know, I'm hoping it's March, I'm not promising, but if it's decided that we're not going down any of those technology paths, we got to get back to work with the rules committee and security committees to figure out how are we going to enforce this sticker? You know, and, you know, I don't really have much because I don't know any more to go with that, but I don't disagree. We created a conflict that we got to get resolved and the work is underway to resolve it.
Okay, I'm kind of concerned with Denny's comment about you know, setting people aside. I mean, you're,
Creating division.
Yep.
yeah,
I mean, it should not be anything that's long-term. If it, you know, if it's long-term, we gotta, you know, if it ends up being something that goes on a long time, we gotta call stop to the technology and the security and move forward with a sticker. But, you know, it wasn't a wise use of anybody's time or money to go down that path if it was going to be changed with this. Now, has these other things taken longer than we hope so? Absolutely. So, but hopefully we're at the end of it and I don't disagree with you. You know what? We're not looking for this division, but it's certainly going to be more difficult to get all the ownership changed than it is just to start the new people on the right track. And
So with that said, 1J states that all vehicles operated within Braintree must display property owner's identification for identification is set forth by the Braintree POA Board of Directors in the rules manual. Are we going to be writing a rule to enforce this new requirement? Because that's what.
Yeah.
Apparently now these three people would be charged to do.
don't conclude me on it. I'm just filling tonight.
Who's Desiree's co-chair?
I think it's Glenn, isn't it? Denny, do you know?
But
Glenn is the co-chair.
Well, if it says
Well-
all vehicles, then you can't just do it to the new people.
Well, it says as set forth in the rules manual, so we can, the board in effect can make
Yep.
whatever rule that they want to according to 1J.
as long as they have it identified, whatever.
It would be identified in the rules manual what that whatever is.
And I think we put that change into the security policy. So I think
Which your
that's where the
security
gate
policy
card.
is really enforceable.
Some
Or the
extent,
security
so-
policy needs to be incorporated into the rules manual,
Probably.
because I don't even think it's referenced anymore in the rules manual.
I don't-
The old security policy.
So, hopefully, like I said, hopefully come March, we'll have enough information to, make this decision one way or another.
How much are these stickers gonna be?
$25, same as the sticker
You mean
this today.
the little sticker for the car,
No,
the
I
registration
think
sticker?
she
Yeah,
asked
the
about
vehicle
the,
sticker
I think she asked about for the new owner.
for the new owners, new Braintree owners as of March 1st.
Yep.
How much are those stickers?
$25, that's the sticker price. But,
That's the registration sticker, correct?
That's if
Yep.
they want to be.
That's the one that they put on the front window.
Yes.
Well, that's what it changed to when it went to 25, was that that's to go to the beach, but that's not what it was before, anytime before that. In the history of Braintree.
right, and that changed. Whether you agree with the change or disagree with the
Right,
change,
changed.
5 months, we asked for owner input through multiple different ways, and that's what came back. So that's what the board adopted. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it's what the board adopted from the people that participate. And, if the people won't participate, what do? We got 2,400 owners and we had 299 people show up to vote in the election. We're never going to get through to everybody, but when we ask, for people to participate, we mean it. We're looking for the participation, and yeah, if people aren't going to participate and disagree with it, then,
Well, I think.
That was
Yeah,
one
so-
town hall meeting that I was not at, that
Sure.
decision was made.
well, that was
One
talked,
town hall
that
meeting.
was talked over
Can't always get
in
what we
2
want.
town hall meetings and 3 board meetings. It was
And-
talked about,
Yeah,
2 town halls and
It's
3
for revenue, not
Yep.
security.
on it, so. I get it, but that's what's in place. The board reaffirmed that we weren't gonna change it for
And
twenty
honestly, I
twenty-four.
don't care
And,
about the 25, I just care about the change of what the sticker is.
well,
That's what I care
but the
about.
sticker never was. Okay,
Yes,
let's go,
it
no,
was.
it
Yes, it
wasn't. No,
was.
it wasn't. Let's come down to reality here, folks.
It was.
You got 2,400 owners. The average owner owns 2 vehicles. We should have 4,000 or 5,000 vehicle stickers sold. When it was mandatory, as you say, we sold 1,700 stickers at $2 a piece. It wasn't,
It's not
That-
about selling it, it's about.
They
when
gave
you
them
need
to
to
us.
identify a
but,
vehicle.
but you
Then
couldn't.
have an identifier.
But
because
you-
The police will not.
Right,
look
I
up
get it,
a
but, Tom,
license.
You couldn't. How do you identify it when more than half
If
of
you
your
sell a
vehicles?
sticker, They can look it up in the office and they can see
Okay,
exactly.
Yes.
But you had
Exactly.
1,700 stickers for
If you need it
2,400.
5 times a year to
Are there
figure
any
out
other
something
agenda
that-
items?
the
Yeah,
culprit or
right.
something
I-
that- It's
look.
a security thing, it's not an income thing.
Look.
Should never been talked
That's what happened. So,
That is
and
what
the board voted it in 2 times over. So, out of it, we asked for the community input and,
And
that's
I
what
think
should.
that's Compliance with your covenants.
But it said right in there, if we voted it in last year, what it meant. It meant that we were staging it for a future change.
So what does the covenant currently say? Because the one that's on the website is still the previous one. It hasn't been updated.
It removed the exception. And it has 1J is what remains. But the newsletter for that ballot item clearly, I have it here. Let me find it one more time.
Lane, you're saying we're not in
It-
compliance because we're not forcing everybody to get a vehicle
Not
sticker.
forcing, what they used to do was when you paid your assessments,
but
they
we-
gave you a sticker.
So
So that's how the board was in compliance with the covenants.
Yeah, you had to register your
I
vehicles,
understand
whatever
that.
vehicles you
I'm
had.
asking, what are you, why are you saying they're not in compliance? Because they removed the exception and we're
Right.
not selling vehicle stickers to
1J,
everybody.
1J.
One
is
J
why-
says abide by what it says in the rules manual. The rules manuals say it's parking at the beach.
Okay,
So what part
so
of
you're gonna
it?
have to change that then, I guess, to.
It did get changed.
For the new people that they're gonna have to pay whether they go to the beach. or
Right, and
not.
that's why I asked him, are we going to be writing a rule to enforce this new policy?
Did it get changed?
Well, it says all stickers, or it says all vehicles are required to have a sticker so in other words, your rule says. Unless you go to the beach, you don't need a sticker, so that kind of is a little conflicting. to
So
me.
it says that a sticker is required for common parking. It does not specifically state that in the rules manual that it's required to be on Raintree property in general speaking, which is what you're wanting, which is what to be in compliance then with the covenants, it should say. Is that what you mean?
Well, my problem is you get a sticker in April. And it's good for till the next April. And you
Okay,
could
so
not
your,
pay.
your issue is not with the rules, it's with the process of getting the sticker.
My
is not
issue
this-
is people
this
out there that have
report
stickers that
or
are not,
committee.
that have not paid their dues. They can still go to the beach, they can still do all the things, cause they've got the sticker that they got in April. That's good till next April, but if they don't pay, they still have a sticker.
Okay,
But if they
to me,
didn't
that's still
pay
part of
and they
the
come in here to buy the
process
April sticker
change.
and they haven't paid, they can't buy another one.
The following year.
Right.
They can't buy another one. So that let me just go back to what went down with this conversation and then we'd end the meeting. If you want to continue this, we can. You sold all but the vehicle sticker in January based off the prior July's assessment. Did they pay or not?
That changed.
Okay,
Multiple times
So,
since
all
we've
right.
been here too.
yep, okay. So then
Go ahead.
we were asked, put all the stickers at one time. I'm like, fine, we'll do them in July. Well, they're like, no, don't put all that expense on us in July when, so it came up to April on it. So yes, for a transition year, we sold the sticker if you paid the prior July in April. Now that that's been done and we transitioned, if somebody didn't pay their assessment, they can't buy this sticker in April. Unless your assessment was paid, you can't buy the sticker.
Last year.
Right.
But you can buy one in April if
Well-
you paid last year and you cannot pay in
Well,
July.
what difference is it?
just
We had
stickers.
people that you could buy a sticker in January previously based off last year's. And if you didn't pay your assessment, so it's all the same timing of things. We're not coming up with anything different.
That changed.
Many
right.
years ago.
And I will tell you this, I've owned my property here for 6 years. Okay, when I came here as a lot owner, they handed me 2 cards. They didn't ask me squat about my cars. Okay, I could come in here as an owner, drive all over the place. My cars weren't registered.
So it
You
wasn't
know,
being enforced.
Then
back then.
I came here and moved in, so I bought my car stickers when I was here. I had a car that was gonna be out of commission for a long term. I had a rental car. Came in here and asked them, what do I do? Said, are you gonna take the rental car to the beach or the boat ramp and park it there? Like, no. You don't need a sticker. So, and I'll go back to this. I think all of this stuff has been, in my opinion, a big time misnomer as to what people thought was happening. Okay, when the sticker was perceived as mandatory and tied to July when you paid the assessment, There are 2,400 property owners. Average person in the US has 2 vehicles. Average family's got 2 vehicles. We should have had 4,000 to 5,000 stickers sold, and it was 1,700. You didn't even have, you had barely a third of the vehicles for this community that were registered with the sticker. So people weren't buying the sticker anyway. So what was the enforcement?
Okay.
And I'll just go, but hang on, I'll just go back to this.
Okay.
How do you enforce a sticker on every owner's vehicle? Because who knows how many vehicles I have? Do any of you know how many vehicles I have?
Been here.
Okay, I don't know how many vehicles Denny has, you know, I don't know how many vehicles Jerry
I
has.
just wanna make
So-
a suggestion, okay? That as you're making this new decision about stickers, that you tie the stickers to the assessment payment. So that when you see a sticker, you know, then you know. They've
But
paid
I
for
will
that
tell,
year.
but I will tell you, it cannot be that way unless we spend big time money to undo city and village. City and village, where you pay your assessment, will not handle the stickers for us. And we get at the end of each month from city who paid. So at best, if the assessment was due in July, we could sell stickers starting mid-August. And we could move them all from April to mid-August, but we didn't, we chose April because we didn't want to have to change golf cart stickers, boat stickers,
Okay, so
all
what
that
does sticker
mid-summer.
mean?
At this point in time, the sticker is what gives you the, you know, you've paid your assessment in the right period to park at the beach and the boat ramps
Okay, okay.
on it. So, and, you know, again, if we weren't talking RFID or talking, you know, LPR cameras, some system to change this, then we may not have ever changed the covenant last year. And I'll read this to you just so you know where this came.
Okay,
All right,
it's fine.
because I mean,
We're gonna move on.
okay. But for the others, we put in this thing specifically that stated this. That a yes vote for the covenant change allows for the future ability to require a range tree identification sticker on all owner vehicles. Possibly, this may be RFID access sticker for the gates. In addition, this change will remove the conflict with covenant 1J. So, you know, we told everybody if you voted for this, it wasn't an immediate,
So you admit
Change.
there's a conflict with one thing.
there was.
There was.
There was. Now what's going on is that we're, you know, we're working towards how do we now enforce this new world? And if, you know, the reason we haven't done something so far as a board is we got committees that are evaluating, are we gonna do something different with technology? You know, and that's got, and we've asked to pause the big implementation of a sticker for everybody, but you know, I'm just gonna tell all of you here. You know, first I'm gonna stop this recording before I do that.
What?
Typically